Hi friend, this is Coach Ola behind the camera, and today I'm going to show you how Intent Training Sheet works. In the top left corner, you will always find the day and the main lift that we're focusing on that specific day. This program is specific to Spring Phase 2026, block first out of 3. So it is not as important what exact exercise we have in this program. This video is more about the structure. You will find your name in the top right corner, and right after this is your readiness check-in. Sometimes we come to the gym and we had a rough day, sleep was not too great, nutrition wasn't awesome, and it is okay to still work out. In fact, I'm very happy you showed up, but you might need to adjust the workout itself based on how you feel. So this is the first step in the awareness. On the other hand, if you feel great, your sleep was awesome, you had plenty of protein in the past 24 hours, your stress is low, perhaps that's the day to push. The last section in the readiness check-in is the habit I'm working on this block. I always encourage the teammates to come up with one habit, one small habit that can relate to nutrition, movement, sleep, that they want to focus on outside of the gym for the duration of the program. So the examples include going to bed 15 minutes earlier, having an extra portion of protein for breakfast, etc. You're welcome to pick a habit you work on, put it down here. You will show up most likely twice a week, maybe even 3 times a week to classes, and you will have it visible, which helps with adherence. It's not mandatory, but I do encourage you to do that. Moving on to the workout section itself. The intent workout is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Section number 1 is mobility. It kind of varies workout to workout. You don't need to track anything. You don't need to write anything down. It's just here to demonstrate the structure. After this, we're moving into the primer. The primer typically includes speed, power, agility exercises to prime your nervous system to wake up and to focus on the qualities we don't in the strength portion. So in this specific program, it's a kettlebell swing and some core work. Same as for the mobility, you don't need to track anything in the primer section. Moving on to strength, that's where the main part of the workout begins. We have 2 lifts, and we have in this specific program 3 sets plus warm-up, 3 sets for those 2 lifts. Now on the left hand side, you will see the parameters, right? So how many sets, the name of the exercise, how many reps we're doing as well, if there's any special tempo, and suggested rest intervals. The right part, however, is focused on tracking. I'm going to give you a real example so it makes a little bit more sense, and you can do it more efficiently when you come for your first class. So when you open your folder or your sheet, you will see this. Let's say for you specifically, I want you to start on 1 bell variation of a deadlift. There's 4 total variations. They all work the same muscles, but depending on your fitness level and your preferences, I will pick a specific variation. And I always demo them, so you're not supposed to know any of those names. So let's say I picked 1 bell variation. That's the first thing I would do on your sheet. Then I would pick the lane for you. Okay, so you will see, for example, lane 5 in this case. So that's the lane you will head to once we get to the strength portion. I will also suggest the weight for you. So for example, for this specific sheet, I will put 25 pounds for the warm-up and 35 pounds for the working sets. Now, you have the suggested weights. How do you figure out how many reps you should do? You take a look at the RPE section. RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. Basically, how challenging your sets feel, especially at the end on the scale of 1 to 10. 1 is nothing, you're just, lifting nothing. And 10 out of 10 is very intense. You could not squeeze out another rep, even if you really, really wanted to. So each set has the assigned RPE. For the warm-up, we typically want 5, right? Shouldn't be too challenging. We're just getting a hang of things, going through the form, warming up the muscles. Starting set 2, it's typically, starting your working sets 1, 2, 3 in this case, we want a higher RPE. So let's take an example. You are performing 35-pound deadlift. You have the rep range over here. So for week 1, 2, we are at 8 to 10 reps. So you grab that kettlebell, you look at the rep range, you're like, okay, I'm aiming for 8 to 10 reps. You stop at 8 reps and you feel like, okay, if I kept going, I could have only done 1 or 2 more reps and that's it. Like I would reach 10 out of 10 past that. That typically means you're at RPE 8, right? Or you just rate that set at 8 out of 10 on your own perceived scale. So you put 8 here and you keep on going. You match the rep range. The RPE was 8 or approximately 8. You just keep going with it. Now, what if for this exercise, I put, let's just say 30 pounds, okay, for the triceps extension. The rep range is 8 to 10 per side. You start with this weight, but you're only able to do 5, and it's an absolute 10 out of 10. You drop it to 20 pounds. You do it again, and then you do 10 reps. Great, you're within that rep range that is prescribed, and your RPE is appropriate, not too challenging and not too easy to not stimulate your muscle growth and strength gains. This is one of the most important parts of structured strength training, tracking, right? To make sure that you show up next week, you look at your results, and you try to do 1 rep more or increase your weight, so that by week 4, you can see the clear difference from week 1. The hypertrophy section works exactly the same, except there is 3 lifts. Okay, so you're alternating between 3 lifts, but the system is the same. Within the intent class, we have a set time limit to complete each of the main sections. So you are moving at your own time, just staying within the time limit, trying to hit the prescribed amount of sets. As for the finisher, this varies program to program. I will always explain it during the class. This specific program has a kettlebell complex. There we go. That was a different program. So I will always explain that. That varies. Typically, it can be more of a cardio-based finisher. Sometimes we do a bit more upper body, lower body accessory work, core, just kind of wrapping things up. Finally, the last section of the sheet is dedicated to the small win. At the end of each class, I ask the team what their small win of the day was. You might have a lot, you might have big wins, you also might just have a small win of showing up, and that's great. I always encourage you to write it down here so you can look back at it. This is how the intent training sheet works. I hope that you enjoy your class, and please let me know if you have any questions.